We get a lot of questions from parents and families, understandably, about what is our overarching guiding modality, method of service and treatment to help our young people. We definitely encourage our therapists to all adjust to each student based on their specific needs. We have therapists that are trained in EMDR, we have therapists that are trained in trauma and a lot of different other areas of theories and modalities and specialties. But there are 5 very salient ones that really kind of governs the way our program's put together and how we work with our students. The first one is called motivational interviewing. Motivational interviewing was developed in the drug treatment or substance abuse treatment area to help overcome challenges, to help people find the motivation they need to overcome the barriers that are in their way so they could find success and hopefully long-standing success. As John and I were creating New Focus Academy, there was also some research out there suggesting that a similar approach to this with some modifications could be very helpful for those with autism, and subsequently there's actually been more and more research suggesting this. But motivational interviewing, overcoming the challenges that people go through to find that success is very powerful and very important to us. Another area, and this is probably one of our most salient ones, is ACT, Acceptance Commitment Therapy.
Probably the easiest way to explain ACT therapy is we all have thoughts and emotions that come and go, and we're not in control of those thoughts or emotions. But what we do is add secondary emotions to that, like guilt or shame. It's part of human experience to have all of those emotions, to have a rich life. We're going to be happy, we're going to be sad, we're going to have grief, and then we're going to also be proud of ourselves. That's just part of the human emotions. So helping to identify those emotions and helping our students realize we're never in trouble for our emotions or our thoughts, and helping students identify those thoughts, and then realizing that if we can control our behaviors when we're having difficult or painful emotions, because that's what kind of gets us in trouble in school or in work or those type of things, but we all have the same emotions.
2 other theories that are also really important, these are areas that John wanted to make sure that we really brought into the program, is Resiliency Theory and Self-Efficacy Theory. And resiliency is about having that strength to overcome challenges, knowing how to face the world without just pulling away. A lot of our kids feel so overwhelmed by the world, they're constantly pulling away and not developing that resilience to actually help overcome the challenges so they can take on the world. How we can help these kids to develop the resiliency they need to overcome the challenges of life, whether they're known or unknown. Those unexpected challenges is really important.
Self-efficacy theory shows that if we feel we can be successful in one area of our lives, that success can move into the other areas of our life. Also, self-efficacy theory says that our beliefs and our ability to be successful is a better indicator of whether we'll be successful at a given task. So if I believe I'm horrible at math, most likely I won't do well on the test. If I believe I'm a great math student, I will do better in math. Often our kids have been corrected so often that they struggle to believe that they are going to be successful in any of their activities that they do. If we're going to work on rock climbing, I teach them how to safely climb up a mountain, how to put the helmet on, safely climb up a wall, and then be able to come down safely. Then I bring it down, and the next thing I want to teach them how that relates to other areas. So, what did you do well? You followed directions, you learned a new skill, you paid attention, you tried something new that you were scared of. Okay, how can that be the same in school? Going to class, following directions, paying attention, taking notes, and then if you can be successful here and they're the exact same skills that you need to be successful in school, you can do it.
The last modality is actually one that I created myself. It's called Social Emotional Fluency. And the whole purpose behind that was understanding that social emotional learning is actually a complex language. So the idea of social emotional fluency is that We help these kids to understand the concept-driven learning approach to why they do what they do, to understand what's happening in the world, and the emotional understanding of themselves and other people so they can feel like they are understanding this complex game that's happening in front of them. It's very important though that this is about adaptive authenticity. We want our kids not to have more masking or more camouflaging where they're trying to hide who they actually are, but instead we're trying to help them to understand the playing field that they're on so they know how to navigate it. We're not trying to change who they are. We don't want them to become neurotypical. Who they are is beautiful just the way they are, but we want them to adaptively understand the world and be authentic to themselves, but know the playing field, know what's happening around them, to know whether they want to engage or whether they don't want to engage, to feel like they have an understanding of what's happening. They have an understanding of how they might need to present themselves for a given situation, like a job interview. And we strongly support self-advocacy, explaining who they are, telling people what their strengths and challenges are. But when we help them to understand what's going on around them, when they understand the playing field, they can better adapt to the world that's in front of them.